Hello there folks, welcome back to another video on the channel. It's FM22, it's exclusive footage of it as we're going to look through who's better, basically. Is it Kylian Mbappe or is it Erling Haaland? Of course, over the last nearly 2 decades now, there's been a battle between two elite forwards, and now a new battle has arisen between Liga and the Bundesliga. Who's better out of Mbappe and Haaland? We're going to use this video to find out. I'm going to simulate one season 5 times. We're going to look at all the data and we're going to use that to hopefully come up with some conclusions of who's better, who you might want to sign in your first save. And of course, there's contract conversations among both players, so it might be a situation where you find yourselves able to buy these players. So I thought it was the perfect comparison. I mean, who do you think will come out on top? Feel free to leave a comment before and after. I mean, take the risk. It's 50-50. You've got a great chance. So you can see we've brought up the comparison screen beyond amongst them, and of course it's slightly different from Mbappe. I should say off the bat, of course, he plays a number of roles. He plays right wing quite often. He can play as an inside forward, cutting in on the left hand side, and of course he's got 2 pretty good players alongside him. Whereas with Erling Haaland, it's a slightly different kettle of fish. He is the main guy at Dortmund, and will that affect his performances as well, of course, his goals as well? If I was to make an early prediction, I would expect Haaland to score more goals, but I think Mbappe, with who he's got around him, can more maybe have the better time of it. And of course, if you're siding these players for your teams, you'll be interested to know how they would fit in, how they would adapt and things like this. So let's take a look first at what they were like last year in FM21 compared to this year. I'm sure you're curious, who's better? So we've made these fancy graphics. Well, first take a look at Haaland then. This is what he looks like this year. As you can see, +1s all over the shop. A couple have gone down, but I thought we'd focus more so on the improvements we've seen amongst his play. Acceleration's gone up. Basically, physically, he's becoming even better, which is a terrifying thought. As well as dribbling and heading, he's becoming more of a complete forward rather than just sort of an advanced forward hitman. You may have used him as a complete forward in the past anyway. Things like concentration and determination continue to rise. Now 20 determination. I suspect by the end of his career, he'll have a few more 20s in his arsenal. So not too bad. Let's compare that to Mbappe. And Mbappe, unsurprisingly, unless they gave him acceleration and pace of 22, he wasn't going to go up in that area. But you can see overall, he's becoming a better player. Decision making off the ball, as well as defensively, maybe pressing from the front a little bit more. Lacks the aggression, but tackling has gone to 4 viewers. So get him in at right back if you want. Maybe right wing back. I think of the pace. But going into the game now then, let's compare the 2 of them, Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland. You can see there, it's unsurprising, like physically, they're quite well matched now, even pace-wise, right? Haaland is catching him quickly, it feels like. In terms of a raw finisher, you definitely give the advantage to Haaland, but you see their composure off the ball. Mbappe just edges him. He's got a couple of years on Haaland, so of course I'm expecting in a couple of years' time Haaland will be very, very good in those positions with those attributes. Of course, it might depend on if he gets a move away from Dortmund as well. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But you can see there 2 elite players at this level, but who comes out on top? I think the Bundesliga and Liga 1, they're not that different, really. I know people would say the Bundesliga is probably slightly stronger, but I think it's pretty similar. Anyway, let's go through then. Let's do our first simulation and find out how they stack up. Right, we've got a year into the future. Let's take a look first then at Kylian Mbappe. League form is what we're focusing on most of all, so we'll use his history screen to do just that. You can see there 19 goals, 7 assists, a 7.71. It's not too bad at all. Let's see how that compares to Haaland. Of course, positionally, let's take a quick look at this too. You can see he's playing 50% of his games as an attacking right winger, so that will impact this, but again, maybe the average rating is the thing to look out for, how his performance is. So 7.71, pretty good. With Haaland then, he's scoring far more goals. He's assists-wise as well. In fact, let's do the comparison between the 2 of them. Bring up their statistics over the course of the entire season and just have a little look then. Goals per 90 minutes, Haaland edges him there. Assists as well, edges him. But in terms of overall performance and average rating, we saw it a moment ago. I mean, you can see there actually, average rating at the bottom. It's, I might slightly, get rid of me. Almost comically, over the course of their whole year, they both have 7.6 average ratings. And I think that's kind of what we have to base it upon. We'll collate all the data at the very end based on league performances only, worth noting. This takes into account all of them. In fact, if we did league, we can see there then Mbappe just edging it and Haaland 7.68. It's very close. So right now, not a lot between the 2 of them, it must be said. Haaland definitely scoring more goals, which is what we thought, but in terms of performance, Mbappe's putting in a real shift. Those key passes, really high. All right, let's get to simulation number 2. So what we're trying to find when we do this are patterns, basically. And we can already see that Mbappe might be on the move sometime soon. League performance-wise, again, 7.53, definitely down on last year. 16 goals, appearance-wise, again, keeping an eye. He's playing on that right wing, of course. There's a few boys in there, Messi and Neymar, battling for that front spot. And PSG, it should be noted as well, won the league in the first season, win the league again. It's fair to say, viewers, they're quite dominant in Football Manager this year. No one's that surprised. On the reverse of that, Dortmund have finished third in the Bundesliga, way off the pace, but Erling Haaland is, it's fair to say, viewers, the main man, and what a season he's had this time around. So yeah, I mean, is anyone that surprised? 33 goals in 33 appearances, 13 assists, 10 Player of the Match awards, and 8.1 again if we compare him to Mbappe in terms of stats in the league. There's a winner. There's a clear winner this time around, and this could have a huge impact on the rest of it. We'll do minutes and sort of goals per minutes and things like that, and we'll figure it all out. But that's hard. This round goes to Erling Haaland. That's outrageous. All right, this time around, I'm not looking at them. I'm going straight in. This is number 3 now. We'll go straight for the comparison. Again, we'll set it to league. Once again, I'm not international and stuff like that. You're not that interested in because they can be knocked out a lot earlier. Whereas leagues, they're going to play a similar amount. Although I'm going to, at the end of this, we'll see how much they were injured, and we'll see if that plays a part too. Once again, I mean, creatively, we're getting more from Mbappe. That's becoming clear, right? And of course, that's to do with who he's next to. At Dortmund, Haaland is like a one-man show. But average rating-wise, once again, Erling Haaland is putting in better performances in what I think, again, I sort of said before, it's quite even. I think people would perceive the Bundesliga to be slightly tougher. You look at the fact that Lille won it last year in Ligue 1, though, maybe not, but still a pretty dominant performance again in terms of goals for Haaland, but his all-round play, you look at what Mbappe's doing, again, playing on that right side a little bit more, I would suspect. It's always going to be difficult for him to have as many goals as Haaland. I would be interested to see if even one year we see a breakout year. You think about how successful certain right wingers are in world football at goal scoring, and Mbappe maybe needs to get to those levels. So far then, I would say, Haaland is not how you spell it. I would say so far Erling is dominating. It has to be said. It'd be interesting to know how much the contract issues with Mbappe are playing a part here. Again, let's go for the comparison then. This is simulation number 4 we're on to now. And again, I'll go through it at the very end. Go to league, and once again, Mbappe's all-round play, very good, and actually this time around nearly gets to that 8.0 rating, the hollow ground of an 8 rating, but a 7.99 to the 7.82 of Haaland, who, by the way, his goal scoring, it must be said at this point, is so consistent. He's bagging nearly 30 goals every single year. On the flip side of that, Mbappe, slightly more assists, that's we're kind of coming used to. Key passes, again, he's always having more than Haaland. Again, that's going to come down to where he's playing on the pitch, I would assume. But equally, having impact. And we're kind of seeing here that it'd be fascinating to know. Maybe we'll do this more into the game as we go along. But how Mbappe would do just as a striker, or how they would do it at the same club. You know, there's a club in mind. So maybe we'll do that in the future. If you're interested in that, leave a like on the video. We'll come to it. All right, here then. Project Mbappe. I'd say he's taken it onto the final simulation, and then we'll compare everything. So I feel as if Kylian's going to have quite the year here to level it against Erling Haaland. I don't think he's going to do it. Right, we'll go for the comparison. We didn't really talk about this at all, but we will focus on it very, very briefly, as you can already reveal, wow, someone's had a lot of goals. Whether they're in the league or not, I guess we'll see. Attacking-wise, very well matched. Of course, Mbappe's slightly quicker, but then that all-round play from Haaland seems to be the difference. Technically, though, again, Mbappe has got him. So once again, then, focusing on the league performances, and it's kind of, I was going to say same old. This has been a year, and maybe the impact of what Messi and Neymar have been doing. Of course, we're not really focusing on that. It's very much about individual performances. Kylian Mbappe has got 24 goals in 34 games. His best goal-scoring season out of the 5. And of course, we could run this 100 times. Eventually, he probably scores 50 goals. But this is the way we're doing it. Again, all-round play from Mbappe, so good, covering so much ground as well. Assists per 90, only slightly more, but his goals per 90 is a lot closer to Haaland's for the first time. That said, once again, the average ratings of Erling Haaland, dominant, 7.84. And maybe that's just a striker thing this year. Of course, we'll see the patterns as the game goes on. Let's compare all of it then. So definitively, viewers, and I think we can conclude this is a perfect science, and whichever we decide here is a fact. Who's better? Is it Haaland? Is it Mbappe? So looking at this handy graphic I put together, let's take a look at it then. And we compared everything, minutes and things like this. So on average, just over 100 more minutes for Haaland over the course of those 5 seasons. Goals-wise, 28.6. You think about how many games he's playing to goals there. That's pretty disgusting. Very, very good. Mbappe on the flip side, 19.2. XG, I thought it would be interesting to include that as well, see if they're outperforming their XG. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. That's the nature of XG, I think. But again, Haaland obviously way above in that one. Assists, surprisingly close. Haaland had that 1 year where he got 33 goals and 13 assists, and that has sort of pushed him over the line a little bit. Consistency from Mbappe is quite clear. Again, 8's sort of happening quite often, but still, Haaland tends to beat him there. Average rating-wise, for the younger man, remember, a 7.86 to a 7.74. When it comes to finishing, very, very well matched, by the way. Their shots on target percentage, almost identical. You can see Mbappe had that 160%, which was higher than anybody else, but also holds the lowest with 44 as well, which is part of it. And Day's injured, and I thought this bit was interesting. The consistency of Haaland, especially when it came to goal scoring, is kind of obvious. The man doesn't miss games. Day's injured. In the 5 simulations we did, averaged out at 2.2, no more than 5, and that was the first simulation we did, where Mbappe had a few more problems, right? Muscular issues, and maybe his pace and his speed is a problem in that. Final thing to note as well is Dortmund's average position was 2.6, which obviously can't really be a position, but it's kind of third, actually. Fourth, third, second. Whereas PSG, you're going to be surprised with us, they won the league every single year. So in conclusion, I think we draw that in FM22, at least when the game releases, Erling Haaland is the best of the two of them. And again, the new generation of stars coming through in world football, I think we found the guy. 2 years younger, but my words, quite dominant, it must be said. If you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like on it. Thank you again to Football Manager for giving me some early access, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. Stay subscribed, we've got plenty more of this sort of thing coming very soon and throughout the year. So yeah, welcome aboard. Hopefully you're looking forward to more of this type of stuff. And there's been other guys making videos equally on FM22. I'll leave a whole load of links down in the description if you want to find out more about FM22 in a deeper, more general way. I don't know. There's links in the description. There'll be more FM22 content coming soon. We love with care from the suspension. Until next time, I'll see you again. Goodbye. By the way, FM22 giveaways, description, all Instagram, Twitter, they're everywhere.